Okay, here we go. Tonight, what we're doing is simplifying radical expressions. Last night's homework where you had to actually do the v divided by 2, conic squared, and find the other thing. It wasn't a hard concept, except for whenever you come down to solve the equations, you have some radicals. One of the answers is the square root of 8. Square root of 8 is not simplified, so I need to talk to you about simplifying things like that. So this is why we're quickly reviewing this. Now, you need to memorize this table right here. This is a very simple concept. You probably already have it memorized 10. I want you to memorize them up to 16. So 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 5 squared is 25, 6 squared is 36, 7 squared is 49, 8 squared is 64, 9 squared is 81, 10 squared is 100. You're good there. Then things start to get wishy-washy for you. 11 squared is 121, 12 squared is 144, 13 squared is 169, 14 squared is 196. Do you see that? Do you see that? That is very convenient, right? 15 squared is 225, and 16 squared is 256. Okay? Now, I expect you to memorize this because it'll be a heck of a lot easier for you to be able to do this homework assignment if you have that memorized. So, we're going to jump right in. Our goal today is to take the numbers that are underneath your square root on your paper and divide them by the red numbers that I have up here. The red numbers are our numbers that are perfect squares. You want to divide them by 4. Why? Because 2 squared is 4. You want to divide it by 25. Why? Because 5 squared is 25. You want to divide it by 169. Why? Because 13 squared is 169. Okay? Now, why am I wanting you to put it in a squared concept? Because what's the opposite of a power? A root. What's the opposite of a root? A power. So we want to cancel those out and bring things on the outside. So if I give you the square root of 75, what's the first numbers that multiply together that give you 75?
3.
Absolutely. That makes you think money. So 25 times 3 is what you should be thinking. But what's 25 the same thing as? 5 times 5, which is 5 squared, right? Now, we're going to tear this apart. If we tear this apart, that's going to give me the square root of 5 squared times the square root of 3. Now, what happens to the power and the root on the square root of 5 squared? Those cancel out. And that's going to just give you 5 square roots of 3. Okay? This is the long windy road. Now, let me show you the shortcut. Now, listen. Your brain should know this already, but if not, from this step right here, you should say, okay, well, what's the square root of 25?
5.
The square root of 25 is 5, so that's going to give you 5 square roots of 3. If your brain cannot comprehend the square root, this is shortcut, then you're going to have to do the long run. Do we understand that? Roger that. Number 3. Square root of 68. Square root of 68, well, let's think about this. What do you think that's going to be divisible by? It's going to be divisible by 2, so we want to make it divisible by 4. So divide that by 4, what do you have? Got the calculator in your hand, so don't stare at me like I'm just a goofball, just give you the answer. What's 68 divided by 4? 17. So this is going to give you 4 times 17. What type of a number is 17, folks? It's a prime number. A prime number by definition means it's divisible by 1 and itself, correct? Which means I cannot break down the square root of 17 anymore. However, what is 4 squared? Or what is 4? Yeah, can I represent 4 any other way?
No. Yes.
2 squared, right? If I tear these apart, that's the square root of 2 squared times the square root of 17. And what happens to the power and the root on the 2's there? Those cancel out, and I'm left with 2 square root of 17. Now, this is the long, windy road. Now, can I say it another way? I can do this whole problem another way by simply doing 4 times 17. What is the square root of 4?
2.
Comes out as a 2, so that's going to be 2 square roots of 17. Same exact thing, a whole lot less steps. Number 5. When you see 180, you automatically see that it ends in a 0, which means it's divisible by what number? 10. So if you know that, go ahead and break it down like that. 18 times 10. Well, are there any perfect square factors of 18?
No.
Yeah, there are. The numbers in the red? What are factors of 18? 9 times 2. 9's a perfect square, is it not? What are factors of 10? 5 and 2. In this case, I'm going to put 2 times 5. So what I have here is 9 times what? 4, right? Did we see that? What's the square root of 9? That comes out as a 3. Times, what's the square root of 4? 2. Now what can I do with those numbers on top? Multiply them to give me 6 square roots of what's left over, 5. Do we see that? The square root of 9 is 3. The square root of 4 is 2. We can multiply 3 times 2 together to get the 6. Number 7, the square root of 20. 4 times 5. Can I take the shortcut here, folks? What's the square root of 4? 2. So that's going to give me? Excellent. 9. 2 numbers multiplied together give you 56. 10 times 8 is not 56. 56. You said what? Something like 6. I'm sorry. I heard 7. I heard 10.
Yeah.
I'm listening. Factors of 8. Can I break that down? 4s and 2s. So what's 7? What type of number is 7? Prime. So are there any numbers in there that can come out? Meaning, what's the square root of 7? Can I do it?
No.
What's the square root of 4? 2. What's the square root of 2? Can I do it? No. So on the outside, I'm going to have what? 2. On the inside, I'm going to have? 14. 11. Square root of 169. It's 13. 13. 720. 72 times 10. And then can I break down 72?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. 2 and 6.
2 and 36? Absolutely. 36 is what type of number? The kind we want, a perfect square, right? Can I break down 10?
Yeah.
2 times 5. Well, what does that give me then, folks? How many 2's do I have in there? So that's going to be 2 squared times 36 times 5. Now what happens to the square root of 2 squared? Comes out as a 2. The square root of 36 comes out as a 6. So what do I have as my answer? Very good. Done a lot of problems already, haven't we?
Yeah.
15.
5.
What do you think that's going to be divisible by? 5.
5.
By 5, so how about we try 5 squared, which would be 25. So take 1625 divided by 25. Do we see how I worked on that? If I know it's divisible by 5, then I want to try 5 squared, right? If I know it's divisible by 6, then I want to try 6 squared. If I know it's divisible by 4, then I want to try 4 squared, which would be 16. Does that make sense, folks? Okay? So what we have here is we're going to have 25 times 65. Is that what we said? Now, what is 65? It's divisible by 5, right? 65 divided by 5 is? Nope. No? 13. Now, do I need the 5 and the 13? No, but why did I write it down? Because we generally need to write it down to make sure that it cannot break down any further. As soon as I see the 5, I know that is what type of number. And as soon as I see the 13, it's prime. So actually what I have going on here is not this problem, but I actually have this one up here still, correct? This doesn't help me, does it? Okay, so what's the square root of 25? And what do I do with the 65? Keep it in there. Do we all understand that?
Yeah.
5 times 13 does not help us, which is why I crossed it off. 17. 256 is going to be the square root of 16. It's going to be just give me 16, right? 19. Well, if it ends in a 4, right? It's going to be divisible by 2 especially. So it's going to have to be divisible by 4 for us to get the square root. So how about try 16? So what's 704 divided by 16? 44. And what's 44?
11.
4 times 11. What type of number is 11? Prime, right? So what's the square root of 16? 4. What's the square root of 4? 2. So what does that leave me with? 8. Square root 11. Good job, guys. Excellent job. Good. 21. Is that going to help us though? So what could I break it down easily? 10 and 42. And 10 is going to be 5 times 2. 42 is going to be what? 6 times 7, right?
Yes.
6 times 7. Well, what's 6? 2 times 3, right? So what do I have 2 of in there? Because isn't 5, 2, 3, and 7 all prime numbers? Are 5, 2, 3, and 7 all prime numbers?
Yes.
Yes, so do I have 2 of anything inside there? I have 2 2's, and that can come out as a 2. So that's going to give me 2 times the square root of
5.
5 times 3 is 15. 15 times 7 is?
Kind of weird.
105. I ordered these three.
No, it's just like you add the two. Like, I don't know. It's just confusing.
Oh, I didn't add the 2's. What did I do? What's 2 times 2 here? 4. What's the square root of 4? Okay, I'm done for the day. I'm not going to go over last night's homework yet. I want to make sure that you guys understand tonight's homework. That tomorrow, whenever we switch back, we'll go over everything and then teach you completion over. Any questions over what I just taught you? Good? Okay, the rest of the period is yours to work on this. You should be able to get it done class today. Agree?
Can we copy that?
Uh-huh.